Well, now, how do you make money after education? This is a question that a majority of people tend to ask. And by the way, most of the people, should I call them youths, they tend to ask this question. And guess what? Nobody taught you how exactly to do this. And I'm going to share this information using my own simple example. I am a university graduate. I went through the system probably that you went through, maybe a college or a university or whichever the case, or maybe you are a Form 4 leaver. But now the question is this, well, all what you've taught in school, then how do you then make money out of that? It's a question. And by the way, let me tell you one thing. This thing clicked on me or clicked in me back when I was in campus by the time I was at the 4th year, and asked myself, okay, fine, amazing. Okay, amazing. Now, how exactly do I make money out of what I've been taught all those 4 years that I've been in university? Now, today I'm going to answer that question and explain to you, how do you make money after education? This thing nobody teaches you out there. You'll never get it. It's not even captured in our curriculum, whichever the country that you come from. So gather here, all what you need to do. Guess what? Can you imagine this? All those years since you were in a kindergarten, all the way to the tertiary, probably like 20 years you've been in school. I'm only asking you to watch this video for the next 15 minutes only, and you get the answer for that question that you've been looking forward. That's all what you need to know or to do, all right? And by the way, guess what? I always post a video each and every day. So if you don't want to miss any of my good videos, do this. Doesn't cost you anything. Down below here on your right, there is a small button written subscribe. Hit that magical button, turn that to notification bell. And by only doing that, a whole YouTube will notify you whenever I upload a new good video. How about we get to today's business, all right? No wasting time. Now, the question is this: you're done with school, you have got your certificate, you have your first class, second, whichever the thing you have your papers. Now they call you a teacher, now they call you an engineer, now they call you a biochemist, now they call you human, whatever the course that you did out there, all right? You have the qualification. Now, how do you make money out of that? Now, this is how you go about it. The very first way to make money after the education is through employment. It is the primary way of making money out of the education system. And that is what they have been telling you since you were young. Hey, go to school, get good grades. At the end of the time, then you'll be able to secure a very nice job, and then you get money, and then you build a house, you have a family. Now that's life, all right? Employment. But now the question is this: as we speak right now, the population that have not been employed in our country, they say it's around 14 million people. They are looking for the employment, and but the majority of these guys are actually the young people. Personally, I looked for an employment, I don't know, for the longest time. That's a reality. And I shifted, and you can use my own procedure that I used. All right? I've never been employed by anybody. So employment is the primary way of actually securing a job, or rather securing money or making money out of the education. But now the question is this: this is not there in our country, or it is there, but it's in inadequate form. You need to know somebody who knows somebody. You either need God the Father, you need the Godfather to connect you. And I mean, you only know how nasty it is if you're African. You know how nasty it is for you to get this kind of a job. And probably right now I'm being watched by somebody who doesn't have a job, and you're a graduate. Now, this is the primary way, but it's not working, so you put that aside if it's not at your disposal. If it is at your disposal, amazing and congratulations. No matter how much you're getting out there, hey, guess what? Opportunities get you when you are on another one, all right? Make sure that you incorporate all what you've been talking about, money management and what have you, the savings and what have you. So make sure that at least you do something, all right? Anyway, guys, I'm talking about the ones who did manage to secure that employment, all right? So anyway, now, if you face the situation that I faced, now you never got the employment, you never got the opportunity. Now, what do you do next now? Okay, what do you do next? Now, this is where now you shift now, now you shift from abilities. What is abilities? Abilities is what you are taught. I remember when we were young, we used to be told there's a difference between ability and a talent. A talent, you don't need anybody to teach you a talent. You know, it just comes naturally. Nobody needs to teach you how to run, how to do all those kind of things, all right? That's just an ability that comes out of you. Or what maybe some little bit of coaching, and ethics and what have you. Now, the point is this: now you shift from the abilities, because majority of the people, close to 80%, they usually focus on the abilities. Sometimes you meet somebody, like last time I met a very young lady, she told me, hey, you know what, Joseph, I am a teacher. I usually do teach chemistry and what have you. I have never gotten a job since I graduated. By the way, I do hold a TSC number. For those who do not know, a TSC number is that identification you are given in Kenya to signify that you are a teacher. And then I don't know what I can be able to do. And I asked her a very simple question. Do you have a Facebook page? Yes, I do. How many followers do you have? I have close to 5,000 followers. What do you do with that page with over 5,000 followers? I just post memes and come on, let me tell you one secret. The There is a way you can make money out of that. It's not a must that you confine yourself to the mainstream. How do you do that? That's what I'm going to share with you. Now, the point is this: shift from that ability. The problem is you've been programmed for the last 20 years. Everybody is telling you, hey, you're bright, but then you're good at math, you're good at math, you're good. So, kumbi, I can do applied mathematics. So you go to the system, so by the time you show up to the other side of the end, that side, assume like education is like a tunnel, all right? Or it's like an industry, or it's like a machine sort of. At the entrance, you enter into the machine, you get programmed. So by the time you get out of the other side, you only have the information about, hey, this is only what you can be able to do. But when you show up at the other side of the tunnel, you do not have an area where you can be able to offer those services for you to get paid. Now, the point is this: education is amazing. I am not saying it is bad. People should be educated. I'm not saying it is bad. That's my disclaimer. But the point is this: whenever you realize that, hey, the abilities is not applicable where you are, there are no areas where you can be able to offer the services for you to get paid. Now shift your mind. Hey, they always say only a fool doesn't change his mind. Shift your mind from the focusing on the abilities. Now you focus on what we call the opportunities. The opportunities. What do I mean? Like, you can do that's what is available as you wait what you want. It's simple. That's exactly what I did. And if you check my older videos, I used to do painting. I used to sell the painting product. And by the way, not that because I had money. This is what I used to do. I go to a certain hardware that I know they are selling those things. And then I go to the site. I walk, literally walking to those sites. I talk to those construction owners and what have you. I tell them, hey, you know what? I can supply you paints at this amount of money. I also paint. I do very nice jobs. I show you the pictures, or I show them the pictures on my phone. This is what I painted last. This is what I did. This is what I did. But they have referrals whom I can give you their contacts to verify whether I've ever worked with them. Hey, they tell you they ask you how much do you gonna supply. I say this amount of money. If they say yes, now I go to where they have the hardwares. Yeah, I go to meet the hardware owners, those who sit in the counters and what have you. I tell them, hey, guess what? I have an opportunity somewhere. Hey, but you know what? I do not have money to supply the paints there. How about you do this? This is the amount of money I need in that paint, and this is the amount of money that you're selling. So the difference is mine. Obviously, they tell you, no problem. Okay, I can give you that difference. After all, you find the customers. Now, I get this hardware to supply me the paints, to supply me the materials. And after that, I get two things. One, I get the commission on supplying the paints. And number two, I also get the labor to paint the place. Now, what do I mean? I earn in two ways. What did I do? You just look for the opportunities that surrounds you. What do I mean? Where do you get these opportunities? Look at your friends. Maybe they probably never went to school with you. They were here hustling here and there. So maybe they have tried to get some opportunities, because anyway, you've been in school for the last 4 years. You do not know what goes on out there. So if you go meet your friends who do some, activities here and there, then you can be able to talk to them and they can be able to hold you and show you the way. And at that particular point, you need to swallow your pride. For my case, I went and I had a conversation with somebody who never went to university, and and you can imagine you're a university graduate and you're working with class 8 dropouts, high school dropouts. There you are, you have so much education in your head, but you just swallow the pride. Swallow the pride, all right? If you swallow the pride, then you grab the opportunities. Do as if, just make them as if you don't think, but you do. Because by the way, I used to make videos back when I was in those areas, those construction sites. You can just take those older videos of mine. I used to make them with overalls, with a lot of pains on my hands, and wow, you can just relate to that. Now, the point is this: you shift from the abilities to opportunities. All right, you look at the opportunity that surrounds you for you to leverage on that so that you can make something. All right, are we together up to that particular point? Now, say if there are no opportunities, what do you do now? Now, the other thing is that you should now shift from the opportunities to potentials. What are the potentials? Fine, this is not yet a ripe opportunities, but it seems as if there is a light at the end of the horizon or at the end of the tunnel. Now, what exactly do I do so that I can be able to grasp this? For example, you say, hey, you might get somebody who is doing graphic design and you say like, hey, wow, this is not yet presenting itself on how I can be able to make money, but I can grab this thing. Or maybe let's say, hey, from wherever I come from, there is a construction that is going on in that area. Probably those guys will need to have a shop somewhere or something of sort, but I do not have money. What can I do? Probably I can sell the idea to somebody or something of sort. Or, hey, there's an opportunity somewhere. Hey, I can try this or that. You get what I'm saying? Maybe there's a new company that's being constructed somewhere. You can go try and ask for opportunities, because that is not yet a ripe opportunity, but it's a potential that is presenting before you. That is exactly what you do. Or probably you can see or something that is going on there. and you say, hey, you know what, if I can focus on acquiring some skills, probably at the end of the day, for example, I have a friend of mine who decided to go and study Chinese. You know, he saw the influence of the Chinese in our country, and he was like, I think people will need people who can actually what do you call transcribe or translate some language and what have you, from, let's say, English to Chinese and what have you. And the dude grabbed that opportunity, and we thought like he was stupid and he was doing nothing. But hey, guess what? You know what? Those are not, they are not yet ripe opportunities, but they are what? They are potentials. You grab potentials. And let me tell you one thing. If you want to know that somebody is smart, one way of actually measuring or testing if somebody actually has the highest IQ and is smart and can be able to survive is that these guys can be able to revolve. They are flexible. You can be able to, hey, this guy, you can just shift them from high to lows to mediums, and this guy just adjust at any particular moment. Adjust. If you take them to a 5-star hotel, they know how to behave. You take them to the Kibandaski, they know how to behave. You know, Kibandaski is like the makeshift, for those who do not understand what I'm saying. So, that is exactly how you actually adjust yourself so that you can accommodate the potentials and the opportunities that are out there. So for example, if you go there in front yourself like let's say when I was doing all those things, and then I front myself like an individual who, hey, you know what, guys, I'm a graduate, you should shut up whenever I'm doing things. And see, you kind of create a boundary between you and them. But when you open your arms, be open. Tell them, hey, you know what, guys, I went to school. Sometimes you can even call yourself a fool. Yeah, I went to school. Maybe I think that was not the best option. That's what I used to tell them. Yeah, I think I wasted time and all those kinds. And they're like, yeah. So they make you a friend, and then tomorrow they call you for a job. But in the process, you know what you're doing. You only need to be smart in this life. Now, there you are. If no, what about if there are no potentials? Now, what you do is that you create one. You can do so through either online or offline. How exactly do you do that? For example, right now, what I'm doing, I had no opportunities. I had no potentials that were out there. So, maybe I can say maybe I saw an potential on the content creation, and I said, guess what? I do have a phone. And for your information, by the way, when I was starting, I didn't even have a phone. I remember I used my sister's phone, for your information. And I know she's watching this video. Congratulations, sister. She was actually my first subscriber. So anyway, the point is this. What you do is that make sure that at least you create, be it either online or offline. You know, I used to watch the YouTubers saying, hey, I'm making money on YouTube, I'm doing this, hey, making content and what have you, traveling the world. You know, I used to watch some wonderful content creators of our country, and I was like, oh my goodness, I think I should do something. And I do believe like, hey, I have something that I can share with the world. And I said, guess what? I'm going to go ahead and do that thing. So you create it. You just try. See, when you're young, you have the luxury of time, and you can be able to touch different things, and you can be able to make something at the end of the day. And the last one, but not the least, is that you acquire the skill. I bet I did touch about this and said, hey, acquire the skills. And at the end of the day, you can be able to make some G's out of it. What are these kind of the skills that you can be able to do, especially when you're young? You see, when you tell a young person like 22, 23, you can take a whole 6 months and acquire some skills. They say, hey, that's a lot of time. And let me tell you one thing. There is one day that you realize that wasn't a lot of time. You can decide. You can do the graphic design. You can decide to go the web designing way. You can, and nowadays those things you can actually be able to learn them here on YouTube. You can learn them as simple as that. You don't need to complicate things and processes and what have you. It's as simple as that. So now that is a clear way of how you can actually go ahead, make money after the education. And the last one that I did not write here. Obviously, you need to be smart. You need to know how to monetize your services. Monetize your services. That's the most important thing. How to make money out of that. That's where majority of people do not understand it. For example, say you are a comedian. How do you make money out of that? Or will you survive at the masses of the brands? That you must have a brand for them to sponsor you to get money or something of sort. See how to, hey, let me. You see the way Churchill did. Yeah, Churchill is the most amazing, the father of the comedy show in our country. That guy, transformed that comedy into monetization, and that's a very smart way. And I love that guy. That's an amazing way. So now, how do you monetize those services? That is exactly how you make money. Hey, guess what? If you're out there, you would like to have a conversation with me, my number is always at the description of this specific video. You can grab it, give me a call, or option 2, you can actually go ahead, get my book list on investments. I have them. A copy only goes for $280. For now, it's a goodbye. See ya.